Be me, 34F, Director of Holistic User Experience at a cutting-edge aerospace startup in Boulder, Colorado. Double major in semiotics and interior design, certificate in space governance and ethics. Company is called Stellar Horizon, founded by some crypto billionaire who wants to build luxury orbital hotels. The pitch: space isn't just a destination, it's a state of being. Finally, a mission statement that speaks to my soul. Get hired to overhaul the orbital habitat division. Walk in on my first day. Excited to bring warmth, humanity, and organic flow to the cold vacuum of space. Expect to see mood boards, fabric swatches, maybe a hydroponic wall. Instead, it's a warehouse full of gray metal. Wires everywhere. Smells like ozone and unwashed hoodie. Meet the team. It's the engineering pit all over again. 90% men, average age 45. Pale, wearing cargo shorts in November, holding calipers like religious artifacts. Meet the chief engineer, Dr. Kovan. 60-year-old Russian guy, former Roscosmos. Looks like he wrestles bears for cardio. Doesn't even look up when I enter. Kovan, don't touch the thermal shielding prototypes. Oils from skin compromise the lattice. Great start. Already policing my body. Go to my office. It's a glass box overlooking the hangar. Open up the project files for the Celestia module. Intended to be the first 5-star suite in low Earth orbit. Look at the interior renders done by Kovan's team. It's hideous. Beige padding, Velcro everywhere, grab handles sticking out like ugly metal ribs. Lighting is harsh clinical white LEDs. Control panels look like a 1980s submarine. Toggle switches, analog gauges, big red emergency buttons. It screams danger and anxiety. How is a client supposed to align their chakras in this environment? Call a meeting with the C-suite. Present my vision. Project Nebula. Slides are gorgeous. Soft gradients, pictures of wombs, jellyfish, floating silk. Talk about fluidity of movement and erasing the boundary between traveler and cosmos. CEO is nodding. He's high on microdosing psilocybin. CEO: yes, the vibes need to be immaculate. We can't charge $50 million a ticket for a panic attack. Kovan is in the corner, arms crossed. Kovan: the grab handles are necessary for zero-G navigation. The padding is fire-retardant Nomex. The switches are hardwired for redundancy. Me, Dr. Kovan, you're designing for survival. I'm designing for time of living. We don't need grab handles if we design the flow correctly. People should float effortlessly, like in the movies. And the switches, they're aggressive. They imply failure. We need an interface that implies trust. Kovan looks at me like I just suggested we breathe vacuum. Kovan, space tries to kill you every second. Trust is not a metric. Physics is the metric. Typical toxic technocrat. Hoarding the physics excuse to gatekeep design. CEO approves my budget. I have full creative control over the habitat interior and user interface. Time to clean house. Hire my own team, the experience architects. Sasha, 24F, color theory specialist, Julian, 26M, vibe curator, and Ren, 23NB, tactile strategist. We take over the conference room. Cover the walls in Pantone chips and fabric samples. First order of business, the airlock. Current design is a heavy, round steel door with a wheel mechanism. Looks like a bank vault. Creates a barrier mentality. Me, we need this to feel like a portal, not a prison. Propose a transparent polymer oval that slides open silently with a soft whoosh sound. Kovan sees the mock-ups. Kovan, that polymer cannot withstand the pressure differential. The seal integrity is weak. You need the mechanical locking lugs. Me, the lugs are ugly, Kovan. They break the silhouette. Can't we use magnetic seals? Kovan, if power fails, magnets fail, you die. Me, so we make sure power doesn't fail. Stop focusing on the negative. He grunts and walks away. I mark him down as resistant to innovation in my weekly report. Next up, the control interface. The pilot's console is a nightmare of buttons and screens, with scrolling numbers. So much cognitive load. I bring in Julian. Julian, it's giving anxiety. Why do we need to know the exact oxygen partial pressure? Just tell me if the air is good or bad. Brilliant. We redesign the UI. Replace all the numbers with color-coded auras. Oxygen levels? A soft blue glow. Thruster heat? A gentle amber pulse. Orbital trajectory? A flowing river graphic that turns red if you're crashing. Remove all physical buttons. Replace them with a single, sleek touchscreen surface. Gestural inputs. Want to open the solar arrays? Swipe up with 2 fingers. Want to purge the CO2 scrubbers? Circular motion with palm. It's intuitive. It's dance-like. Kovan sees the new dashboard. Face turns purple. Kovan, you removed the manual abort? You removed the physical circuit breakers? Me. Everything is digital now, Kovan. It's cleaner. We don't want clients accidentally bumping a switch. Kovan, touchscreens don't work well with gloved hands. If the screen freezes, you have no control. Me. Then we fix the software so it doesn't freeze. Why is your default assumption incompetence? Also, the gloves are being redesigned. The current ones are too bulky. Kovan looks like he's having a stroke. Kovan, I cannot sign off on this. It violates 40 years of safety protocols. Me, that's why we're updating the protocols. Go to CEO. Tell him Kovan is holding back the Teslafication of the brand. CEO moves Kovan to advisory role. Promotes me to head of mission assurance and aesthetics. Absolute victory. The engineering team is moved to the basement. The pit is now an open-concept collaborative space with beanbags and a juice bar. Productivity skyrockets, measured by number of JIRA tickets moved to ideation. 3 months to launch of the prototype module Serenity. We are crunching. Sasha finds a supplier for the wall panels. Brushed velvet texture, acoustic dampening. Kovan sends an email, which goes to my spam folder automatically. Subject: flammability concerns regarding velvet adhesive in high O2 environment. Delete without reading. Negativity is a contagion. Julian finishes the atmospheric soundscape. Instead of whirring fans and pumps, the station will play a subtle 432 Hz healing frequency. We dampen the scrubber fans to make them silent. Airflow is reduced by 30%, but the silence is golden. Launch day. The Serenity module is mounted on the rocket. Empty for this test, but fully automated. We are in mission control. I redesigned mission control too. No more rows of desks facing a big screen. It's a command circle. Standing desks, mood lighting, ambient techno playing. Kovan and the old engineers are watching from a laptop in the basement. Countdown begins. 10, 9. Announcer voice is too aggressive. Note to self: hire a calm ASMR artist for the next countdown. Liftoff. Module reaches orbit. Successful deployment. Everyone cheers, pops organic kombucha. CEO is beaming. CEO, look at that telemetry. It's beautiful. He's looking at the Vibe dashboard I designed. Big, glowing green orb means all systems nominal. Suddenly, the orb flickers yellow. Me, what's that? A minor vibe shift? Julian checks his iPad. Julian, the UI says the energy flow is experiencing turbulence. Me, okay, just swipe to recenter the chakra. Julian swipes. Nothing happens. The orb turns orange. Text appears. Harmony disrupted. Me, what does that mean technically? Julian, I don't know. We removed the error codes because they were scary numbers. CEO, call the basement. Put Kovan on speaker. Me, Kovan, we have a harmony disruption. Please advise. Kovan, I am looking at the raw data feed. You are overheating. The cooling pumps are running at 20% capacity. Me, yes, we turned them down. They were too loud. Kovan, Turn them up! The avionics bay is melting. Me. Julian, increase cooling flow. Julian taps the screen. Julian, the gesture isn't registering. The screen is lagging. Kovan, use the manual override switch. Me. We removed that. It was clutter. Silence on the line. Kovan, reset the computer. Hard reboot. Me. Okay, where is the button? Kovan, the red button, the one you said was aggressive. Me. We replaced it with a voice command. We have to say, Stellar Horizon, begin new cycle. Julian yells at the screen, Stellar Horizon, begin new cycle. Screen is frozen. Won't recognize voice. Orb turns red. Pulsing aggressively. This is very bad UI design, too stressful. Kovan, the velvet panels. They are off-gassing due to the heat. Sensors detect smoke. Me, it's not smoke, Kovan. It's probably just steam from the humidifiers we installed. Kovan, fire alarm is triggering. Automatic suppression system engaging. Suddenly, the live video feed from inside the module cuts in. Clouds of white foam fill the luxury suite. The foam hits the velvet. Chemical reaction. The velvet starts dissolving into black sludge. Looks disgusting. Certainly not 5-star. Kovan. The suppression system is depressurizing the cabin to starve the fire. This is standard. Me. Wait, the airlock. Kovan. What about the airlock? Me. The magnetic seals, if power cuts during the reboot. Video feed shows the beautiful transparent oval door. Power flickers as the system tries to handle the heat. The magnets disengage for 0.5 seconds. Pressure differential takes over. The polymer door doesn't just open, it shatters. Explosive decompression. The organic flow I designed becomes a literal hurricane. The velvet, the beanbags, the aroma diffusers. All sucked out into the void in a split second. Module spins out of control due to the venting gas. Serenity is now a piece of tumbling debris. Signal lost. Command circle is silent, just the sound of the ambient techno beat dropping. CEO looks at me. CEO, my $200 million module is gone. Me, technically it's still there. It's just deconstructed. This is a learning opportunity. The universe rejected our first offering. It's poetic. CEO turns purple. Not a good color on him. The fallout. Kovan and his team are brought up from the basement. They managed to stabilize the tumbling module using backup thrusters via their laptop. But the interior is gutted. Total loss of assets. I am called into HR the next day, expecting a debrief on how we can improve the emotional resilience of the hardware. Instead, I get a termination letter. Gross negligence, endangerment of future life, sabotage of company property. Me? This is ridiculous. I brought vision. You can't blame me for physics being exclusionary. HR representative, a woman, traitor, just hands me a box. Please leave your badge. Walk out past the engineering pit. Kovan is there. He's eating a sandwich. Looks at me. Kovan. Form follows function. Gravity is the only law. He turns back to his ugly, gray, functional screens. I feel attacked. Spend the next 6 months unemployed. Write a Medium article, Why the Aerospace Industry is Terrified of Feminine Energy. Gets 50 claps. See news report a year later. Stellar Horizon launches Serenity 2. Look at the interior photos. It's all beige padding, grab handles, and physical switches. Looks like a prison. Looks like a submarine. They successfully dock with the ISS. Astronauts are smiling. Whatever. They look comfortable, but they have no style. Clearly, they just want to be obedient drones to the patriarchy of thermodynamics. Realize the world isn't ready for empathy-based engineering. Decide to pivot careers. Applying for a job as a safety inspector for nuclear power plants. I have some great ideas about changing the color of the radiation warning signs. Yellow and black is so dated. Pastel pink would be much more calming. Wish me luck, Anons. The future needs me.